first you need to know about the, before going to start the continuity and differentiability, you need to know the limit concept. Of the limits. First, what is the definition of the limit? Already have learned in 11th class. Once, just briefly, I will recall it, because the base thing you need to know it. So, what is mean by a limit? Limit is nothing but actually limit of a function. If f of x is one function, okay, this is a function, and as the x value is reaching to the any number a is the any real number, and f of x is a real valued function. So what is the difference between the real valued function and the real function? What's the difference between the real valued function and a real function? Real valued function is nothing but the range value, function value should be a real number. Means whatever the means x value, if you substitute in the function, then real number you need to get, not a complex number. That such type of the function is called as a real valued function. Real function is nothing but domain should be a real numbers, and real valued function is nothing but range should be the real numbers. If the range is a subset of the real numbers are subset of the real numbers, is called real valued function. This is the main definition of the real valued function. So f of x is a real valued function, means we are going to get the real numbers, and limit x tends to a f of x is nothing but as the x value is reaching a, then what is the f of x value? As the x value is reaching a, what is the f of x value? That is called as a, that is represented as a limit x tends to a f of x. It is represented as limit x tends to a f of x. So normally, if you see that general mistake done by the students is limit x tends to 0, 1 by x is what? Limit, whenever the question, limit based questions, whenever it is given to you, normally just directly substitute karega. No, it is not meaning of the substitute. Substitute means then I can ask you the question that if f of x is equals to 1 by x, what is f of 0? Can you say? Can anyone? F of x is equals to 1 by x, then f of 0. No. Infinity you said, wrong. Undefined. That is, difference between the undefined and infinity is what? Any non-zero by 0 is called undefined. Any non-zero by 0 is called undefined. And infinity in this case, limit. Sir, here also we will get 1 by 0 only. No, we will not get 1 by 0. Why we will not get 1 by 0? Normally you think that you are going to get infinity here. Limit x tends to 0, 1 by x. Why? Because when x is reaching to the value of 0, you, as an example, you can take it as a x you take here. Here this is 1 by x. X value I am taking 100. 1 by x value 0.01. I am decreasing from 100 onwards. Here 0 hoga, here 100 hoga. This is 10 you can consider, and this is 1 you can consider. Approximately I am taking it. I am reaching the value from x 100 to 0 tak reach kara. So whenever it is reaching like this, 10 ho gaya, 0.1, it is 1, 1, it is 0.1 x value. 0.1 is nothing but we are moving towards the 0, approaching 0. So 0.1 means 10 you are going to get. 0.01 means you are going to get 100. 0.0001 means our big number. So as it reaches to the near to the 0, the value is increasing. As how much near you are taking the value of x near to the 0, that much big number you are getting for 1 by x. So that's why it is very big number. To represent that very big number, we use the symbol infinity. So limit x tends to 0, 1 by x is infinity. And suppose 1 by 0, if it is asking you, that is called undefined. So this is about the limit normally. So limit of the different functions for the in the limits may functions whenever we are taking into consider, normally limit x tends to a x to the power of m minus a to the power of m by x to the power of n minus a to the power of m is equals to m by n a to the power of m minus. This is the main formula we are going to use in in case of the limits. And limit extends to 0, limit extends to 0, sin x by x is equals to 1. And also limit extends to 0, tan x by x is also is equals to 1. Say 1 you are going to get. And limit extends to 0, 1 minus cos x by x is equals to 0. In the limits concept, these three are the main formulas we are going to use. Now let us move it to the concept of continuity. What is meant by continuity? The word itself says that the function is continuous. There is no break. When you draw the graph, graphically, it is very simple to you set any function if you are drawing graphically and it is continuous, means without lifting the pen you are drawing that. No break at all. Then that function is called continuous. But we cannot define the function continuity like that. So what is the original definition? Limit extends to a f of x is equals to f of a. Limit extends to a f of x is equals to f of a. Then that function is called as continuous function at a particular point a. It is continuous at particular point a. So if it is, the function is continuous in its domain, if it is continuous in its domain every point, then that function is called continuous function. हर एक पॉइंट पे कंटिन्यूअस होना है इनका डोमेन में. It should be a continuous in every point in the domain. Now this is called it is continuous at the particular point a. It is called continuous at particular point a. Suppose I am taking a graph. I have drawn to you like this one graph. If I take like this, here say either cut means graph. Here in the graph I am keeping it as a circle. And next afterwards from here to here, that is nothing but at the place of 0, it is not taken any value. So the function, suppose if I am taking the one function, example, I'll take it into consideration. F of x is equals to x plus 2. One example, throw the one example continuity, I'm going to explain to you. The function is given to you that f of x is equals to x plus 2. X plus 2 if x is less than 1. And it is equals to 0 if x is equals to 1. And it is equals to x minus 2 if x is greater than 1. So this is the function given to you. So it is a split function at a 1. It is a function, a split function at the place of 1. So whenever the function is a split function, limit, if you want to find out for this function, suppose only I am asking limit. So limit, whenever you are finding, there will be a left hand limit and right hand limit. Left hand limit is nothing but when the value of, suppose left hand limit, suppose I am asking you to find out limit x tends to a, f of x I am asking you to find out. That means you need to say that limit x tends to a minus f of x should be is equals to limit x tends to a plus f of x. What is a minus and a plus means? A minus is nothing but to the near to the a but the left side of a. A minus is nothing but not minus near to the a but left side of a. So what is the value of the function? And function is going to change, because here see, in case if I am asking you in this case, if you want to find out the limit, you need to find out here, check the continuity of this function at 1 I am asking 1 का place में continuity check करने के लिए बोला है. So continuity means you need to find out the limit first of all. Whether the limit exists or not, limit is not, you need to check first of all. Limit exist होगा नहीं होगा कैसे check कर सकते हैं? Limit extends to 1, f of x you need to find out. This one you need to find out is nothing but you need to check that limit extends to 1 minus f of x you need to find out. Limit extends to 1 minus f of x is nothing but limit extends to 1 minus 1 ka less than the function value. What is the function value when 1 less than? It is x plus 2. In this case, here you need to substitute not minus 1, only 1 only you have to substitute. This is 1 minus is nothing but to decide the function. To decide the function whether this to be taken, this to be taken, this to be taken. Suppose in case if the question is asking to you limit extends to phi f of x, it is not necessary to you to find out left hand limit and right hand limit. Why? Because phi ka left side mein near to the phi, the function is this one only. Phi ka right side near to the phi, the function is this one only. It is a split function at one का place में split हो गया function. So that's why limit extends to 1 if you want to find out at that particular point. Left hand limit, right hand limit separately you need to find out. Left hand limit and right hand limit. So both separately. In case 5 if it is asking to you to find out. Limit extends to phi f of x. No need of finding left hand limit, right hand limit. Directly you can find out. And here in this case, what you have to write 1 minus whenever it is given to you. 1 should be substituted here. So 1 plus 2. So which is equals to 3 you are doing. And in the same way, limit extends to 1 plus f of x, which is equals to limit extends to 1 plus f of x is nothing but 1 say greater than, that is x minus 2. So you are going to get 1 minus 2, which is equals to minus 1. Here minus plus 3 and here minus 1. So limit only not existing. That is nothing but a limit extends to 1 f of x does not exist. So in case for any given function, if it is given to you equal, if it is given to you equal, if you got equal, then limit exists. And that limit value should be equals to f of 0, f of 1. F of 1 is equals to kya hai? 0. In this problem, suppose. In this problem, it is equals to, suppose I have given to you that here x minus 2 instead of x minus 2. Suppose I have changed the function to x 4 minus x. Suppose the function I have changed it to 4 minus x. Here, x greater than. So here what do you get? 4 minus x. So here what do you get? 4 minus 1. So we are going to get 3. So both are equal. In this function, for this function, limit is existing. But whether it is continuous or not. Whether it is continuous or not. To check what to have to do, f of x is equals to, f of 1 is equals to what? F of 1 is equals to what here? 0. But then limit extends to 1, f of x is equals to 3. And but f of 1 is equals to 0. Therefore, this function is not a continuous function. Continuous function, it is not a continuous function at x is equals to 1. Suppose the question is given to you, find the continuity of this function at x equal to 5. Find the continuity of the function at x equal to 5. Can you say that? Anyone? Whether it is continuous at x equals to 5 or not? Whether it is continuous at x equals to 5 or not? Yes, it is continuous. At x equals to 5 means what to do? You need to prove that limit extends to 5, f of x should be is equals to f of 5 as per the definition. Limit extends to 5, f of x is nothing but yeah, isn't it? So limit extends to 5, f of x. So 5 is greater than 1. Greater than 1 means you need to take the function as a 4 minus x. So which is equals to 4 minus 5, which is equals to minus 1. So what is f of 5? 5 means function should be taken as a this one only. The 4 minus 5, which is equals to minus 1. So this is minus 1, this is minus 1. In this situation, no need of finding left hand limit and right hand limit. In this function, no need of finding the left hand limit and right hand limit. This is about the continuity. Okay. So now differentiability. A function is, when do we call the differentiable function? A function is called the differentiable. Differentiation, how do you define? Do you remember first principle in the 11th class you have learned? In class 11, first principle you have learned. So using that first principle, you can there. Yes, समझ में आया? Continuity. Vipasha. Any doubt? And in the continuity, the mainly the one problem is there. It is given to you as an example problem. This one. Question number 15. Find the points of discontinuous of a greatest integer function. So I'll explain to you about the greatest integer function. Where it is discontinuous. At what places it is discontinuous. And you can see here, the one thing you remember, whenever the any function continuity, see now this function whenever you are taking, it is continuous at every point other than 1. So it is discontinuous at x equals to 1. When the function, whenever it is given to you, 4 minus x, whenever it is given, it is continuous everywhere. It is continuous at x equal to 1. 4 minus x whenever it is given. First, what is given? X minus 2 is given. When x minus 2 is given, it is not continuous at x equal to 1. But it is continuous everywhere. So this function is discontinuous at x equals to 1. Okay, so like that the question is given to you. One more question, this is also very important examination point of view. Discuss the continuity of the discontinuity, means where the points greatest integer function is discontinuous. At what points it is graphical representation also you can take into consideration. By taking graphical representation also you can do it. Okay, so because you need to know when you know the concept properly, then only you can answer to the questions of 1 mark questions and 2 marks questions. 1 mark and 2 marks questions. Remaining all the questions easily you can do it. It's not a very big task for you to do. Okay. So concept you need to have properly. If you are not having the concept properly, what is the meaning of the greatest integer function? Do you know? Greatest integer. It is represented by f of x is equals to, in the brackets we will write. So first, before going to learn this one, greatest integer function, where find all the points of discontinuity of the greatest integer function is the question. So where it is discontinuous, at what points it is discontinuous, it is the question. First, before going to that, you need to know about the function. Suppose I have given to you 1.5. What is the greatest integer value of the function? What is the meaning of this one? You know, this is the meaning of greatest integer less than or equals to x. The greatest integer which is less than or equals to x is written as symbolically like this. What is the meaning of greatest integer less than or equal to x is written as in the graph. So 1.5 say less than what are the integers are there in all the integers, which is the greatest one. 1 is the greatest one. So answer is 1. Suppose I have given to you minus 1.5. Minus 2, not minus 1. Because whenever you greatest integer function means one number line you take it to consider. Either 0, here minus 1, here minus 2, here 1, here 2. Suppose whatever the number 1 minus 1.5 is this. इससे less than integers क्या है? Minus 2, minus 3. In all that greatest one क्या है? Minus 2. So this answer is minus. Observe that this function is going to have answers, means the range of this function is always integers. Range of this function is always integer. That question also in the functions chapter से पूछ सकते हैं. There is a chance of asking to you. What is the range of the greatest integer function? Greatest integer function का range only integers आएगा. Whatever the number you take into consider. Suppose if I am asking you that, can anyone say that what is the value of this one? 1, because approximate value is exactly, we don't know that. Approximate value of the root 2 is 1.414 and so on. Root 3 1.732. So in the brackets you can take the means in this brackets greatest integer of the root 2 if they have given to you, the value is equals to 1. So answer you are going to get an integer only every time. And graphic, if you, whenever you see that the graphical representations, easily you can understand the graphical representation by watching a graphical representation. You can easily understand that whether the function is continuous or not, and where it is discontinuous. Where at what points it is discontinuous, you can easily observe the graph. Graph observe करना है तो, if you want to write the graph of this one, ये 0 है, तो this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, here -1, here -2, here -3, here 1, 2, 3. These are already you learned in 11th class only, drawing the graph of this function. Maybe explain किया है, how do we draw the graph of the function. When whenever you see that 0 को 0 होगा, 0.1 को भी 0 होगा, from 0.1 ले लो in the brackets, what do you get? 0. So that is nothing but it is going to have the 0 at the place of 0, and till the 1 it is 0 only, but till the 1 means not equals to 1. When the function value means suppose 1 also equals to 1 only, 1 को 1 आएगा, 1 को 0 नहीं आएगा, 0.999999 you take greatest integer, that you are going to get it as a 0. So here to here tak it is 0 only. That's why graph you are going to get like this, and here you are going to get circle. Circle क्यों? 1 का value 0 नहीं है, 1 का value क्या है? 1. Greatest integer of the 1 is 1. So 1 का greatest integer value 1. So here you are going to get greatest integer. And 1.1 का value 1 है, 1.2 का value 1 है, 1.9 तक it is 1 only. But exactly whenever you take the 2, it is not equals to 1. 2 का value 2 होगा. So from this graph itself, it is, you can say that it is discontinuous because we are not getting continuous. But here to here तक आएगा ये circle. Negative values whenever you take it. Here if it you take minus 0.1 होगा, minus 0.1 का value minus 1 होगा. तो minus 0.1 whenever you are taking, minus 1 you are taking. 0 whenever you are taking, 0 here. So this is not equals to minus 1. But इससे less value whenever you take, minus 1 आएगा. Points you take into, coordinates you take into. Suppose if I am substituting minus 0.1. So what is the answer? Minus 1. That means minus 0.1 comma minus 1 is the one coordinate. So where we are going to have that one? Approximately here. So from here to here, when you take the minus 1, minus 1 आ जाए. Minus 1 को minus 1, minus 1. So it is discontinuous, but it is discontinuous. But at what points it is discontinuous? Means where you are getting the break. Break आपको किधर किधर आ रहा है. Suppose if I am asking that it is discontinuous, whether it is discontinuous at 1.5. Discuss the continuity of this function limit x tends to 1.5 f of x. Whether it is discontinuous or continuous. This at 1.5. At 1.5. 1.5 का left side value, 1.5 का थोड़ा सा right side value. Whenever you see that, see this is 1.5. तो 1.5 का value here you are getting 1 only. तो इससे लेफ्ट साइड थोड़ा सा देखो, राइट साइड देखो, ये तो कंटिन्यूअस एट दिस पॉइंट. सो इट इज कंटिन्यूअस एट एवरी रियल नंबर एक्सेप्ट द इंटीजर. दिस फंक्शन इज कंटिन्यूअस एट एवरी रियल नंबर. आप 1.5 ले लो, ये कंटिन्यूअस होगा बिकॉज लिमिट एक्सटेंड्स टू 1.5 f of x value will be is equals to 1. And f of 1.5 value is also equals to 1. So both are equal. Then this function is continuous at 1.5. It is continuous at 1.9. It is continuous at 1.9999. But it is not continuous at 2. But it is not continuous at 2. Why? If I am asking what is this value? So you need to check that limit x tends to 2 minus f of x. What is this? Can anyone say? 2 ka left side. 2 ka left side. The value is 1. So this is 1. Limit x tends to 2 plus f of x. 2 ka right side. The value is 2. Actually, limit only not exist. At every integer, limit does not exist. At every integer, limit does not exist. Okay. So this is about the continuity of the eddy function. Different function here, this is different function. That's why I have explained to you. There may be a chance of asking question also. And if you want to, so this is a different continuity. And coming to the differentiability. So how do you define the derivative of a function? Derivative of the function. Do you remember? With the help of the limit only, we will define the derivative of the function. And different derivatives you have learned in the previous classes. Using the derivative differentiability. Actually, original definition of the derivative is limit x tends to h tends to 0 f of x plus h minus f of x by h. This is called as f dash of x. This is usually called as first principle. With the help of this first principle, we are going to get it as a d by dx of sin x. Normally, differentiation of the functions, what you are having x to the power of n. D by dx of x to the power of n is nx to the power of n minus 1. Derivative of the sin x cos x. Derivative of the cos x is minus sin x. Derivative of the tan x is secant square x. Derivative of the cot x, d by dx of cos x is equals to minus sin x. D by dx of tan x is equals to secant square x. D by dx of cot x is equals to minus cosec square x. Minus cosec square x. D by dx of secant x is equals to sec x tan x. D by dx of cosec x is equals to minus cosec x minus cosec x cot x. And d by dx of sin inverse of x is equals to inverse 1 by under root of 1 minus x square. And this is equals to d by dx of minus cos inverse of x. Or d by dx of cos inverse of x can be written as minus 1 by under root of 1 minus x square. So d by dx of tan inverse of x, d by dx of tan inverse of x is equals to d by dx of minus cot inverse of x is equals to 1 by 1 plus x square. And derivative of the secant inverse of x and derivative of the minus cosec inverse of x is equals to 1 by mod x under root of x square minus 1. Mod should be there compulsory here. Yeah, right. Basic basic derivative formulas. How many of you have written like this from the starting of the academic year in your any paper? How many times you wrote? Once you question yourself, how many times you have written this one like this? All these main differentiation. Okay, so let us actually